Reggie Van Lee. He's the chairman of DC Commission on Arts and Humanities. Can we give it up for him one time?
Morning, morning. So I'm going to start with some quizzes. How many people in the room, raise your hand, have even heard of the Commission on the Arts and Humanities? Not bad, but you know, my usual response is not everybody in the room has heard of them. How many of you all receive any kind of funding from the Commission as an artist or as an arts organization, of the people that have heard of us, right? So this is the problem. Not enough people know that we have a $45 million budget each year to give out money to artists and arts organizations in DC. $45 million. And I can tell you, I've been the chair of the commission for a year. Before I arrived, there was actually legislation that said 3% of the arts organizations that we give money to got 28% of the funding by legislation. So one of my first acts was to get rid of that so that we can bring some equity to how these grants are given out to people in the organizations. So what I need to do is to make sure, one, you're aware of the Commission on Arts and Humanities. Our job is to support the arts and humanities ecosystem of Washington, D.C. Every form of art that you can imagine, we give funding to. You should go to our website, dcarts.gov, to understand all the different categories that people could apply for. And so I'll ask the question again, how many of you here are either artists or somehow associated with an arts organization? Again, so everybody here pretty much could get money from us, if qualified, and there are all the restrictions and all of that, but could apply for it, need to be aware of what we do here. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the Arts Commission, then I'll turn the program over to others. On the topic of equity, as I said before, a small number of art organizations historically got the lion's share of the money from this commission. We're changing that significantly. So for example, wards 4, 5, 7, and 8 historically did not get a lot of funding from us. Last year, we increased that funding by $5.4 million, a 78% increase. And we have a ways to go to make sure that that happens more broadly. My personal goal is, and I was a dancer in the past, I'm a business person now, but I understand what arts can do to transform organizations and people, whether you end up being an artist or not. And my goal is for every resident in DC to somehow feel the transformative power of the arts and humanities in some form or fashion. And I can tell you that across the United States, arts agencies like our arts agency, the DC Arts Commission gives out more money on a per resident basis than any other state in the United States. And if we give out that much money, we should be able to do something innovative with that money. What we've done historically was to give our grantees fish. And I'm trying to make sure we not only give them fish, we teach them how to fish, to do capacity building. And in our grants in the last year, people have talked about how they've been able to hire staff they couldn't hire before, drive fundraising they couldn't before, do audience development they couldn't do before, board development they couldn't do before. That's what we want to do. So we're not going to not feed you, but we're also going to teach you how to feed yourself going forward. That's our goal. A lot of community engagement goes into what we're doing. How many of you all participated in Art All Night a couple of weekends ago? Did you know the Commission funds Art All Night? We're one of the biggest funders of Art All Night. So there's great work the Commission has done that we never talk about and nobody knew about. So now we're letting people know what we do and becoming more engaged in the community. While we have these grants that we will send you to the website to look for, it's one thing to say, here we are, come to us. It's another thing for us to say, we're going to come to you. So now we're going to engage the community in a way we haven't done in the past. Being present, I was present at half of the 23 activations of Art All Night. It made for a busy day and night for me, starting at 9 in the morning, going to the midnight brunch in Congress Heights, but we have to be out there in the community, and so we're going to be out there. But what I need from you is to reach for us. I need for you to go on our website. I need for you to call in and understand what grants may be available, to not be satisfied when the application looks too long or too difficult. Come back to us, get us to work with you, to work you through. We want to give people who deserve the money. We want to help you deserve the money. So I think I've gotten to the end of my very long list of points I wanted to make, but I thank you so much. Please take the time to learn more about the Arts Commission and help us to help you in a way we haven't before. Thank you. Oh, question. The DC Commission on the Art, my name, Reggie Van Lee. That's my real name too, so you can't find me. Another question? I'm sorry? dcarts.gov. Yes. So I can tell you what we supposedly have done in the past. If you were denied, we still would do a debrief with you, right? Now, some people have gotten debriefs, I've discovered. Some people didn't get debriefs. We're fixing that. Everybody gets a debrief. But in that debrief, we're also going to work with you to help you understand how to be successful the next time. We have seminars and workshops that we do constantly, bringing people in, of course. Some people show up, some people don't show up. So that's why it's not sufficient for us to say, come to us, we got to come to you. But our goal is, we have all this money, our goal is to give it out to everybody who deserves it. And if it's because you didn't have time to fill out the application, we'll help you with it. If it's because some of the restrictions, they have a clean hands restriction that says if you have any outstanding tickets or taxes or something, but we've discovered if you haven't paid that, but if you're on a payment plan, you can still qualify. So we're trying to work with people as best we can to get through those obstacles. And some of the organizations we work with have a development team. They have staff whose job is to do that. Small organizations don't have that. So we're trying to help them in that way. So my challenge is, if you're not getting from us what you need from us, you can come to me directly. Reggie Van Lee. Yes. ReggieVanLee@gmail.com. That's me. Hard to hide from you, so. Another question. On a panel. So what he's talking about is the way the awards are given out is we create panels of volunteers that come in and spend a whole day reading through the applications, having the conversations. The panels are 8 to 10 to 15 people. And all people can be eligible to be panelists. And before, the panelists were not paid, and the panels happened during the day, so working people couldn't afford to do it. One of the first things I did when I took over is now panelists are paid. It's only $250 a day. We want to get that up, but right now, panelists are paid. So a real good way to understand how the process worked is to be a part of the process. So please, through the website or through me, if you want to be a panelist, sign up to be a panelist. Not only is it a great experience, but it can help you to be a better applicant the next time. So thank you for that. Yes, I don't know if I'm supposed to be taking all these questions. Is this okay? Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, yes. It's not-for-profit. They're all not-for-profits, right. We don't work with for-profits. And that has been, and that some organizations have a not-for-profit arm and a for-profit arm, and we can work with the not-for-profit side, but we don't work with for-profits. One other thing I'll add is one of the aspirations I have I have two big aspirations for the commission. I shouldn't say this publicly because it puts me on record to have to deliver it. But the first is, I would love for this Arts Commission to become the equivalent of the Ford Foundation, to be a real foundation that can be a fiscal sponsor for small organizations that can't afford to go through the process of 501c3 and therefore cannot get tax-deductible donations, for us to be that fiscal sponsor so they can get those donations through us. That's my first goal. And there's all sorts of red tape with the city, and but we're going to get through it. The second thing is, I'd like to take Art All Night to be the equivalent of DC's version of Art Basel. That's what I want to bring to Washington, D.C. So I said it now, so you can hold me accountable. Whenever you see me, say, how you doing, Reggie, with that, My term is a 3-year term. I'm 1 year in, so I have a little bit of time to try to make that happen as well. But that's, those are the two of my goals. I think I'm getting the hook. But ReggieVanLee@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before you go, is there anywhere where we can say hello to you on social media or communicate with you and contact you directly? Any place?
What?
Any place can we connect with you? Do you have social media, an email, a phone number, any place we can find you?
Yeah, Reggie Van Lee. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, I'm on everything. Hard to miss me.
Hard to miss. One time for my good man right here, Mr. Reggie.